time, weather, and
Audio Jungle.
Pose as if you had the card in your hand. Read it.
Attention on deck! Mr. Crew does not know it, sir!
You do know a Papa Greedy comes out the attention on deck, don't you?
Yes, sir!
Say it.
Attention on deck! Good morning, sir!
Recruit, whatever your name is.
Welcome to my channel today. I truly appreciate you being here. And just for an admin thing, I will report in tomorrow on my journey to get healthier. As you know, I've been trying to lose a bunch of weight and I've kind of lost track of it online. So at the end of tomorrow's video, I'll have an update on that. If you're like most people, you stumbled across silver by accident, while not really looking for it. To define it even more, many people found silver looking to make a quick buck and then realized the importance of silver is so much more. Stacking silver can and will be able to help you survive the storm that is coming. Without silver at your personal disposal, you will quite literally suffer the fate so many millions of people are already beginning to suffer around the world. Yep, the suffering has already begun. I've been preparing for slightly over 1 year, 14 months to be precise, and have realized it'll never really be done. The preparation is ongoing. The problems encountered is life itself. It's like trying to be able to afford a separate and hidden lifestyle. It's like you're supporting a separate or hidden family living in another city because you're trying to juggle the bills of today to keep the lights on while attempting to accumulate a stash of money called silver somewhere else. It hasn't been easy.
And she said, I think, we're having some problems. And I said, I don't know anything about your life. And she said, well, your husband and I are having problems and we're breaking up. And I'm like, breaking up from what?
I hear other YouTube channels talk about diversifying and buying this and stacking on, but that's not what I'm about. Preparation for me has either been a cup of coffee at the store or an ounce of silver next month. Preparation has resulted in what appears to be barely above poverty lifestyle, while the choice to prepare moves forward simply as time allows. The opportunity to prepare is a very personal thing and is different for everyone. The first purchase of silver, for me at least, was like losing virginity, as just about everything was done wrong. The first act of buying silver finished up even though it was clunky and clumsy. As time went by, learning about buying silver helped things get better with each and every purchase. An early example of gained knowledge is that eBay is not a great place to buy silver. Experience teaches it is cheaper to purchase silver using a bank ACH, automated clearinghouse, with an established online private mint. Learning about silver became vital to me because one can see the future economic events unfolding similar to what has happened in history. Through the eyes of those that have come before us, it will soon be realized that trying to save a penny here or a penny there is not really going to be of any importance. Because you really need to look at dollar cost averaging, which is the practice of investing a fixed dollar amount on a regular basis. Regardless of the share price, it's a good way to develop a disciplined and investing habit and is actually more efficient in how you invest, and it'll help with your stress. As well as your cost, dollar cost averaging is what ensures profits in the future, at least for me. The real money in silver will not be made when you buy it. It will be when you sell it. The seemingly no shit statement is really one that holds a deeper meaning, a much deeper meaning. This is said because the day will come when silver will not be available at the retail level as it is today. A person will only be able to bring with them what they have when that day finally arrives. I must clarify that everything I say is my opinion. Everyone has an opinion, you got it. And it's just that I base my opinion on historical fact while other people hate history. Some people are computer geeks while others are gaming geeks. If you ask them why they're geeky, they don't know. They just know that they love it. Loving it is what makes them so good at it. I love history and always have. I'm a history geek and I love it. I see the current events of today differently than the mainstream. What has been seen cannot be unseen.
We're in.
Unfortunately for the world, the war has already begun and it is at our doorstep. It is not what is coming, it is what is already started. We are watching the drama unfold as markets implode before our eyes and few fail to really heed the warning signs. The dollar reboot is coming. The power of America is her military. That military is powered by money. Without that money, the military would be reduced to an empty shell. The aircraft carriers would rust in port, and future YouTubers would make videos touring the cavernous and abandoned behemoth called aircraft carriers. Money is the grease that keeps the machine running. The Federal Reserve is not going to merely squander away its number one transparent asset, which is the U.S. military. So the real question will be, how does the military emerge on the other end of the reset? My answer, I don't care. While others worry about that question, I am simply concerned with silver and the future value it will hold. I'm only concerned with how silver will go from being a completely underrated metal to a powerhouse of financial opportunity. How will the lowly ounce of silver emerge when things start to heat up? While others worry about that question, I'm simply concerned with silver and the future value it will hold. I am only concerned with how silver will go from being a completely underrated metal to a powerhouse of financial opportunity. How will the lowly ounce of silver emerge when things start up to heat up even more economically? When the Treasury took control of all the nation's gold during the Depression under the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, something happened that most people don't know about. It also took control of the Federal Reserve's gold. The Treasury gave the Federal Reserve a gold certificate as compensation under the Fifth Amendment, and to this day, that gold certificate is still on the Fed's balance sheet. The Eisenhower administration was up against the debt ceiling, and Congress didn't raise the debt ceiling in time. Does that sound even vaguely familiar? Eisenhower and his Treasury Secretary realized they couldn't pay the bills. But what happened? This is where it gets interesting. They turned to the weird trick to get money. It turned out that the gold certificate the Treasury gave the Federal Reserve in 1934 did not account for all the gold the Treasury had. It did not account for all the gold in the Treasury's possession. The Treasury calculated the difference, sent the Fed a new certificate for the difference, and said, "Fed, give me the money." And it did. So the government got the money it needed from the Treasury gold until Congress increased the debt ceiling. And today, that same ability exists. In fact, it exists in a much larger form, and here's why. Right now, the Federal Reserve's gold certificate values gold at $42.22 an ounce. That's not anywhere near the market price of gold, which is about $1,800 to $1,900 an ounce right now. The Treasury could issue the Fed a new gold certificate valuing the 8,000 tons of Treasury gold at $1,900 an ounce and subtract the official $42.22 price and then multiply that difference by the 8,000 collateralized tons of gold they are known to control. That number comes close to about 500 billion bucks. In other words, the Treasury could issue the Federal Reserve a gold certificate for the 8,000 tons of gold at $1,900 an ounce and tell the Fed, give us the difference over the $42 an ounce. The Treasury would have close to $500 billion out of thin air with no debt increase. It would not add to the debt because the Treasury already has the gold. It is just taking an asset and marking it to market. It's not a fantasy. It was done twice. It was done in 1934 and it was done again in 1953 by the Eisenhower administration. It could be done again and it doesn't require legislation. Why limit themselves to $1,900 an ounce? The higher the number they set, the more money created out of thin air. I will end it there and let that swish around in your brain for a while. Because I did put out a video a few months ago saying that the math shows me that silver will quickly hit at least $333 an ounce. It's simple math of an ancient equation, an equation that has been used by humans for over 6,000 years. It's called the gold to silver ratio. 1 + 1 still equals 2, even after 6,000 years. Please do not waver in your quest to prepare for the reset. Described as but one possible scenario, and nobody really knows what is going to happen. The only thing we do know is something is going to happen, and the true value of silver will prevail. Since you now have this quote-unquote inside information about the future direction of silver, it really comes down to your convictions of belief. How well you prep will prove the old axiom correct. Because when that day erupts on the world stage, once that happens, the time for preparing will be over, and you will only be able to bring what you have. You can pick apart the math, or you can just start getting shit done. Semper Fi.
I don't think that I can really survive.